With us now is Melissa Hunter, and she's a mom. She's an entrepreneur. She's had amazing success, and she's overcome some life-changing experiences, and I welcome her because she's part of Live It Up. Welcome, how are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Now tell us about your background, your before and your life-changing moment.
Yes. The two lives of Melissa. I was, for years, I was a corporate executive. I worked in Manhattan. I did the slog from New Jersey on the train, you know, crack of dawn and getting home after dark and barely seeing my daughter. And back in 2010, I experienced some strange, I went numb from the waist down. Just, you know, randomly. And it turned out that I had multiple sclerosis. And so, you know, the doctor told me it was time to stop working. And I said no. So I continued to work for another year because I really couldn't wrap my head around retiring. And I was only 42 years old. So it eventually did have to happen. And it was scary. And I mean, it's scary enough when you lose control of your own body. I think for anybody who ever has any kind of a neurological disease or an autoimmune disorder where your body's attacking itself, it's very, very hard to live with. And to lose, if you're someone who's very into your career, which I was, it was a big part of my definition of myself, it was extremely painful to lose both my body and my identity at the same time. But my daughter was 8 years old at the time, and you know, she is an amazing, amazing redhead. And she decided that what we should do for fun, because I couldn't really do a lot of things, was she was a big fan of YouTube, and she used to watch doll reviews on YouTube all the time. And she said, why don't we start a YouTube channel and we can review our dolls like my favorite channels do? And it was easy enough to do. Webcam, I could do it lying in bed, sitting at the kitchen table. And so we did. And we did it, and it wasn't, I never expected anybody else to watch, but it was something that I could do with Gracie that we could do together because there weren't a lot of things to do together. And slowly, that was the summer of 2012, and people started watching that weren't family members. And
a lot of people started watching the Mommy and Gracie show.
Yeah, and so here we are now at the beginning of 2016. We have about 650,000 subscribers, about 20 million views a month, and it's become my new life. YouTube has given me an amazing new purpose, and I realized that all along this is where I was heading. This was what I was meant to do. And the years I spent in corporate America, which I valued, but I learned so much there that I've taken them into the YouTube world and reached out to other families that, like Gracie and myself, are just like parents, you know, moms and dads and kids who turned on a video camera and started putting videos on YouTube, and then don't know what to do from there. And so I couldn't turn off my business brain, so I started something called Family Video Network, and we have 34 partner channels, and what we do is we help them learn how to YouTube. So, you know, a lot of them don't come from a business background, so they don't know about networking with people and, you know, talking to brands and getting advertising and all of the stuff I spent over 20 years learning. And now I'm able to help these families do that and transform their lives like our life has been transformed. It's been an amazing, amazing gift.
And Gracie gets more time with you.
Yes.
She gets to see her mom happy.
Yep.
She gets to be engaging. Mm-hmm. She's learning how to be an entrepreneur in her own right.
Yes, she is.
Right?
Yep.
Helping you run things.
Yep.
And you're empowering people through your own video, but now you've, like you said, you have this entire network that you've built. How do you feel now? Now do you, looking back, have any, you know, do you miss the old you at all?
No, I don't even remember her. I know she was very stressed out, and you know, they call it a rat race for a reason. And although I still struggle with my health, I actually thank God every day that MS happened, because it did change my life. It made me a better person. It made me a better mother. It gave me the chance to be a better mother. And you know, now it's given me the chance to transform other people's lives that, you know, are not even, I would have never known otherwise. And that is, to me, such a huge blessing. And I think sometimes, I always believe that everything happens for a reason. But sometimes when you're challenged like that, with suddenly just sort of losing everything, it's really hard to have that faith and believe that there's a reason. And I'm not necessarily a religious person, but to stay sane, you have to say, there has to be a reason this is happening to me.
Right.
There has to be a reason. And it took several years for that reason to become apparent. But now when I'm able to travel, I just went to Texas to meet with a whole bunch of our partner families live down in Texas. And just seeing them all together, and it's like this group of people that are together because I got sick. And if that had never happened, none of that would have existed. And that's amazing.
It is amazing. You're like the champion for MS, but you're the champion for families.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like the MS is now kind of like, oh, that's the extra little thing.
Yeah,
right.
That's just something.
Right.
That's a little something I got going on. Yeah.
By the way, I have symptoms once in a while,
Yeah,
and but I'm dealing with it.
It is, and I think it's hard. I mean, there are people who get MS, and I call it the climbing Mount Everest sort of MS, where they have a flare up of it. It gets identified. They go on treatment. They get better, and their life goes on. Like Jack Osbourne was able to compete on Dancing with the Stars. That's not the kind of MS I have. I never got back to pre-MS Melissa.
Right.
It's always been sort of a downward spiral. But that doesn't mean that your life is over. And you just need to find a new definition of what your life is. And really, who you are isn't what you do. Who I am is who I am. Whether I'm lying in bed, unable to move, or I'm on a train to a meeting in Manhattan, I'm still me. I'm still Melissa.
And that's why I was so excited when I heard your story, and I said, I have to have you on. I was like, please. And I knew it was a little bit of a distance for you to get here, and I was so grateful that you could spend some time with us because, the videos that you've curated on your network, they're all one after another doing fabulous things. It's like you've built this entire ocean, if you will, of goodness.
Yeah.
So,
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. And I feel so blessed, and thank you for inviting me out here. It was a long ride, but I just said to myself, maybe there's one person out there who's recently been diagnosed and is sitting there and thinking, my life is over, and I'm 35, because it hits us. It hits us at that age when it's all supposed to be great. This is it. I was on that VP train, man. I was going there, and it just took me down.
And now you're president. Who needs VP when you can be
I'm
president of
CEO
the Mommy
of my own company?
Exactly. Then the Mommy and Gracie show.
Yep.
Out of the mouths of babes. So let's look at the camera and let's give a big kiss to Gracie. Gracie, this one's for you. Mwah!
I love you, baby girl.
Stay tuned for more, and you can check out her network right through liveituptvshow.com. Thanks.